Hello, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to Shifting Perspectives. I want to talk about manifestation when you got it right and when you're aligned. When you are aligned, everything is easy. Everything is easy. Whenever something is hard, it's because you're pushing against yourself. And it is really hard to keep this in your perspective. It is really hard to remember this because we are so used to it being hard that we don't question things when they're hard. When something is difficult, it should be a red flag that we're resisting. And it's funny because there are these books on I want to be a public speaker, and I have all these books on how to be a public speaker, and they lay out all out of all this is all the detail. And I will sit down and I will read through it. And it will go on about all the battles, all the struggles. This is the kind of work you can expect. This is over here. And then I get discouraged with reading these books and I set them down. And then I don't do it because what they just described is public speaking in their perspective. I have done 3 presentations, and every one of them has fallen into my lap without me trying. It was so easy and so natural and so simple because it was so much a part of who I am. It's extraordinary how much it's a part of me. And I don't realize it. I have been talking like this since I was 8 years old, presenting quietly to myself. And I remember thinking, you need to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this. I remember thinking, but it was really that voice in my head that I still haven't figured out if it's in my head or if it's the universe talking, saying, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be mastering the art of monologue and stage talking. And I thought it would be hard. As soon as I opened up my podcast and I started talking, I thought it would be hard. And then I went, whoa, this is my space. And whenever I crawled on stage, yes, that's right, I felt home. Home is just being aligned. And I got on stage and I just blew my mind away at how well it came together. Because I've been doing practice public speaking since I was 8 years old. I studied Shakespeare, I studied performance, I studied the art of oral tradition. Oh, I studied a lot of oral tradition. I studied how to read. I studied timing and pacing, and I found the rhythm, and I mastered prose. And that is something I understand. Rhythm, frequency, rhythm. I found the rhythm in words. I found the rhythm in words ages ago. I wrote entire books with my rhythm of words, realizing that when we speak in song, and understanding that when you master oral tradition, finally, you realize that speaking is a song, and the way you pull back and the way you move is music. And that is what draws you in to my voice. I am singing you a song through oral tradition. It is brogue. It is lilting. Nothing pulls a reader in more like lilting. And suddenly I understand why bards were as important as they were. A lot of people misunderstand what bards were. They think they were just musicians. A bard was a status. There were many levels and tiers of being a bard. The utmost toppest tier was called the Fili, and the only ones higher than the Fili were the Drui. So it went Drui, Fili, and then bard was down at the bottom. These were masters of storytelling. It was their job to memorize the history books, to retell it, because there was no written word yet. How else do you remember? So the storytellers would master the art of telling story, and they would pass it down from generation to generation. And the master Fili is the one who would finally take an apprentice. They made amazing amounts of money. They roamed. They were so important. And they were brought in by royals, hired constantly to update on news, update on information. They were revered by the royals, given status. These are the bards. I always wanted to become one. I always wanted to become one. Between the philosophy, my story, my gift for gab, my love for the written word, and my music, I am a bard. When you're aligned, it's easy. It comes to you. You don't have to try. When you manifest, and you manifest properly, reflecting who you are and your identity, you get what you want immediately. It's when you manifest out of fear and control that you're actually not aligned to your true self, and you're not aligned to the energy. So you're trying to get something that was never meant for you because it's not aligned to your truth. When you manifest out of fear, you don't get what you want. When you manifest out of love and self-celebration, you get everything, and it's easy. It is the ultimate reward for authentic living. But you have to not buy your own bullshit. I was terrified of the idea of public speaking. I used to stutter. Stuttering is amazing. It's one of the most amazing things about psychology. Stuttering is when you are so horribly abused that your subconscious mind tells you talking is dangerous. So when you open your throat to talk, your subconscious mind interferes and says, no, you are not allowed to speak. That's not safe. And you try and talk anyway, and you end up stuttering because your subconscious mind is interfering with your throat. And I realized that exposure therapy was the best thing for me. So I opened my throat and I spoke. And what I found was that I am a bard. Finally and at last. I thought about all the speeches I would have to write beforehand, and I felt the anxiety come back because that's not who I am. I am all about improvisational. So I write a title on my piece of paper because my subconscious mind keeps interfering with my work. We're working on it. But there's a lot of box living whenever you get into the professional world. Oh, you got to look professional. You got to wear this. You got to make sure you do this. You got to. My core lesson is as I am. Try it a killing as I am. As I am. We are living as we are. And either you are authentic or you are not. So when I step on stage, the rule number one is you don't get to tell me how I should present. People come to me and they might think, oh, well, you want me to give you my money. You don't look professional. But that's the point. Professionalism is a mask. Propriety is a mask. Expectations are masks. And I don't do those. I don't do those. This is my style. This is who I am. You're not going to get a single part of me without accepting all of me. If you can't appreciate my authenticity, then you don't get to come to my talks and listen to me be awesome. And that's fine with me. If you are more concerned about what I am wearing than what I am saying, then you are not my people. So I am once more braving into the unknown and redoing how I do the garden. And this time it is really right down to the core going, okay, apparently I'm not supposed to wait for my dream. I'm supposed to do it now. So I am going to be doing my Healing Garden Getaway Resorts. One is coming up in February. We are going to be doing, oh my God, I am so excited about all of this. A cruise. The sign up is available for that. You get me. Oh my God, it's going to be awesome. We are doing 7 days on a cruise ship. It's my full Healing Garden Trident Healing awesomeness crammed into 7 days. And that's going to be down in the Caribbean. We are going to be exiting out of Florida. I am very excited about that. The flip side of all of this, aside from my getaway healing resorts, I will also be doing them around Europe. I will be doing them elsewhere. And I also do public speaking. In addition to that, my live events, I have Anna's Elite. If you live in or around the New York City area, sign up for Anna's Elite. These are events that are geared toward the non-conformist lifestyle and celebration. They are healing focused. So if we do an adult play party, and we do, it will be healing focused. I will be doing workshops in those centers to show you how to literally use sex to your advantage, use BDSM to heal. It is fully focused on healing, not just orgies with no purpose. I'm adding purpose to a lot of it, but it's a required mindset. Go ahead and take a look at Anna's Elite. In addition, I do BDSM workshops. I do a lot. I don't plan anything. Okay, that's not true. I plan a lot, but I do improv speeches. That's really important to know. I do not memorize scripts. I don't, because that's inauthentic for me and I can't do it. So I'm going to go in with a topic, and I will warn you, if something comes up, I'm going to change it last minute because that's authentic. I will sooner be authentic than anything else. There's just no room here for that. And what I'm doing when I do this is it's called as I am employment or as I am presentation. Now, I will show up if I say I'm going to show up. I am reliable. But scheduling certain talks, certain topics, how things change. And I change so fast that you got to keep up with me. Or you just got to be flexible. And that's part of authentic living is flexibility. I teach you how to get like this. Because the way I am now was not by accident. This was fully on purpose. It was planned. It was strategic. It was 30 years of data and comparisons and research and assessments. It's when we live the way we are meant to live that the world unlocks for us. If you love shit like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want more shit like this, subscribe to my amphitheater and get full access to my self-care regimen with daily inbox meditations sent to you. And if you cannot get enough shit like this, take a look at www.honnesthealinggarden.org and click Get Started. And we will make sure that you are receiving optimum mental wealth for your healthcare journey. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.